Hello and welcome to another tutorial, a Western themed tutorial, Doc Hollidays. This was a fun one because it uses the lighting techniques that was similar used with the Demon Horse, which you can see right behind you there. This tutorial, I'm just going to talk about what is new, what are new techniques with this particular tombstone. You can look at the other videos I've made for more detailed explanations. One of the new things with the tombstone is this portrait here. This is a spooky eyes portrait. It's like the Disney follow eyes kind of thing. What's important is to prep it by sealing up any place where water could get in with latex and silicone. I did inside and outside of it. Because it's lit from within, cut out any place where you want light to show all the way through on the face of the tombstone, and also channel out any recessed areas like where the picture frame is going to be. On the back side of the front face of the tombstone, channel out this LED lighting that goes around, this rope lighting, making sure that one of the LED lights is shining through, like for example this bullet hole. To get the LED lighting back out through the tombstone, kind of cut out the space at the bottom back of the tombstone, and then the same thing for the base of the tombstone, so it'll come out. This LED lighting bends pretty severely, I was surprised, so don't worry too much about bending it around. See, that's pretty severe bend there. What's awesome about this is that you have lots of extra lighting, which now uplights your tombstone out in the graveyard. Test to fit your picture frame and remove any foam that's keeping it from being nice and set in there, because again, you don't want water getting back there. And then because this picture frame is a little heavy, put in some wiring to help hold it in place, especially while it was drying. And then also to let you know, I replaced the picture frame's glass with matte glass so you can see the image better. Here's some extended video of the acetone that you put onto the tombstone. You can pop it in to make little pinholes or let it drip down. Just bear in mind that if it's subtle, it's not going to show after the dry lock. So you have to be heavier than you think you need to be. But acetone's neat. You can drip it on, you can brush it on. I was staring at some of my faked barbed wire and realized that it is made simply by tying two pieces of string together. And when you put the dry lock on there, you'd be amazed at how much it looks like barbed wire. And it disguises the frame. Now getting ready to dry brush and tea stain, need to cover up that glass, and so I used a blues painter tape and some paper and then cut it out on a glass frame. So there's just enough of the tape on the very edges to stick on there and protect it. It's important to dig out extra dry lock in the very small epitaphs, because if you don't, when it dries, it's going to fill it in, which is kind of a good look. You may want to leave some of it in some of the letters or numbers to help give it that aged look. Also push in the dry lock into those tiny pinholes. A close-up view of the tea staining and dry brushing, how it looks on the stone. Just like the Demon Horse, you're going to cut out the very outside layer of where your opaque plastic is going to rest on. So use an X-Acto knife, and then use another tool to kind of burnish it in so there's a nice ridge. Because you only want to temporarily mark the plastic, use an overhead projector marker. These come in handy more than you think. And that blues painter tape helps to remind me where the top is, or else you'll go crazy. When you cut out the plastic, don't crank the scissors around, it'll crack the plastic, so just kind of keep cutting it out. Paint that ridge with the matching paint color that your lighting is in, because it's going to show a little bit because you're using clear silicone as the kind of waterproofing caulk for the plastic. If you smudge the outside of the plastic, a wet Q-tip will take that right off, but caulk the outside of it. Here's how to put that carpet moss on. Put a big glop of glue in the center, and then glue as much of every little bit of it as you can so it follows the contour of the tombstone, because that's how that grows. Never shown how to do the rebar, but stick a piece of rebar into your tombstone, figure out about how deep you think you're normally going to be having it sticking out of the ground, and then how deep you want it in the ground. Mark it off, and then using your Dremel cutoff tool, cut around the outside perimeter of it. And if you cut deep enough, if you bend it over a corner, it will simply just break in half. Okay, final little details, dry lock any glue seams that are showing, and then dry brush to help disguise. All done again. Really like the uplighting that you get with this tombstone technique. I'm possibly considering changing many of my tombstones to do this. These spooky eye portraits are cool though, but a little weird when you're building it. He kept looking at me. Stop staring at me. Stop it. Anyway. This will give you a sense of how your tombstone will look in the graveyard with the uplighting. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and this was a fun one to make. Loved the lighting. Take care.